So we're live on Twitter.
Twitch is good.
Nice. Competing with AGDQ.
Oh yeah, we're gonna fucking knock those bastards down a peg or two.
That's right. Yeah, it looks like we're good everywhere.
Yeah, let me just complete the summoning circle here.
There you go. Thank you, Isaac. Oh man. Alright, we'll give everyone a minute here to hop in, and then we'll get going with what is surely a short episode. Definitely.
Honestly, I have not played a whole lot of video games on our time off.
Okay.
Because our break came right at where I was starting to burn out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
5, 6, 7. Yeah, it'll be short.
I have 6 and I like cut 3. So
I have like 9. I already cut 3, and I'm gonna do like 3 sentences on like 4.
yeah,
of them,
I'm blowing through a couple pretty quickly. Oh, all right. Ahem, ahem. Are you guys ready?
Maybe.
Yes.
Ringing in the new year with nobody paying attention to me.
I said maybe.
And I said yes.
I know. I'm just watching the video version. You both of you are like, "Oh, I'm working here on my stuff, on my notes."
Phone. Yeah.
I don't have to stare at your fake virtual eyes to fucking acknowledge you, okay?
Hey.
Gaze upon my visage.
I was fucking retweeting and liking the tweet, you son of a bitch.
Thank you very much, Moonpeer in the chat for retweeting and liking. Your support matters. Patreon.com. Anyways.
I'm one of those as well, so you can't even fucking do that.
That's right.
It also doesn't help that I was still in together mode, so I still had the C motif going on.
Wait, is that... Can I still click on that?
If you
Oh, yeah.
Moon was saying...
Hey, everyone, look at our new loadout. You get 2 of me.
Hey, dude, it works. It works.
Right.
Should. I'm saying, like, look, just scooch the logo down, the whole image up, and you know, it works.
Oh, there we go. I was like, oh, and you lost my camera for some reason.
Yep. Nah, it's just Skype. Hey, Ferror. Happy to be back. Happy to have you back. Are you guys ready?
No.
Start recording.
You don't get to fucking talk for us, you son of a bitch. You
all of us, the royal TVGP, is happy to have you back.
If only we'd started the show, that is a very good show title. You just fucked it up by not dropping.
Yeah, we gotta have a really good show title this year, because this is the one I see all year.
Wait, what?
I use this episode as the template for all episodes this year, because it has the year set correctly, the art, and all that stuff. So I copy the tags from this one too. Last year's episode was stabbing-related questions. That's a really good one. It's an all-time classic.
Oh, very appropriate for 2021.
That's right. That's right. Okay, you guys ready?
No pressure. No pressure.
No pressure at all.
Throw on that in chat, please.
Yeah. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to a brand new year and a brand new episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston, and joining me as always is Moonpeer.
Howdy, brand new show, same old 3 old white dudes.
That's right. It's a podcast. This is the minimum required amount of 3 bearded white dudes. We got them. We met our quota. And the nymph.
That is the plural name for us, yes.
Yes, that's right.
Hello, everybody.
Patreon.com/E1M1.
The ones and numbers. I haven't forgotten.
There
Like
you go.
Fine-tuned machine.
That's right. We're doing it. You can support us financially over there and get a whole bunch of cool exclusive audio, like the Outcast. We're back with the Outcast this week. Talked about all the media we watched while we were off on our break. Caught some hot films, some good flicks. Highly recommend that one. You get 2-week early access to We Roguelike It, the roguelike show where Moon and I play every roguelike in history. Just added a whole bunch of roguelikes to that list. Whoops. And we also get a 2 or 3 month early access to Critical Misses, the show where I don't know anymore. I'm scheduling stuff that's going to air in April. Yeah, like I'm scheduling stuff that airs in April. So like I don't even know anymore.
So, You may have gone in and added a bunch of stuff to the roguelike list. Did you notice I started putting a whole new themes in the critical misses list?
You rogue. No, but that's probably pretty good. So critical misses where Moon and I are catching up on all the hits we've missed across media. We've mostly done movies. We did one season of music. We'll get back to some music and some TV and some other stuff here as schedules allow. Yes.
How many pages is the first Dune book? Because I'm just saying,
Good
we could
question.
do 3 in 1. We could do book, movie, and TV show all in one season.
Yeah, Kyle McLaughlin, here we go. So you can visit all that at patreon.com/E1M1.
Ones and numbers.
And the $5 tier is the recommended one. That gets you everything. You get it all. Anything above that is greatly appreciated. Moon, what have you been playing over the last couple of weeks?
Or proposing, whatever.
How about a couple of weeks? Not gonna work here
didn't
anymore.
do his vocal exercises.
I certainly did not. The less talking I can do in general, the better. Haters clip that one.
Show?
He sells seashells on the seashore.
Okay. Question is, where do I start? Oh, I know exactly where I'll start. With the 3 easiest and fastest ones to talk about.
Love it.
Wizard of Legend.
Yep.
Obviously, I'm not going to talk about that on this show because that is the current Wii roguelike game. Get in touch, people. Come on, get with the ball game here. Get up to date. Start playing what we're playing.
Patrons.
Aliens. Fireteam Elite.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to talk about that one because it's still stupid, dumb fun.
Great.
Me and Rob may have dragged Justin through a couple of levels because we've got I think there's 4 campaigns in a horde mode.
Mm-hmm.
To play the horde mode, you have to finish the campaigns.
Sure.
Me and Rob are 3 chapters in, so it's 3 chapters per episode, and I think me and him are 3 in, and Justin had done 1 mission. So
okay.
And it's a great game because it's one of those games where you load up one of the later missions and it's like, oh, I'm sorry, you can't play this mission because someone hasn't cleared the requirements to do so.
Someone hasn't cleared the requirement. A cough, cough, cough. Here's their gamer tag.
Yes, it's Justin. Just so you know, it's Justin. It's always Justin. Every single time, it's always Justin.
Yep.
Always Justin.tv. That's www.twitch.tv/E1M1.
Now I gotta buy a new domain.
Hey, I am correct on that. Justin.tv is the original Twitch.
Yes.
Okay,
when it
so
started,
I did make that reference.
It started with that guy Justin that had a camera on his head, and he just wore it for a whole bunch of weeks and weeks and weeks while he just lived his life. It's crazy.
Then the world imploded and everything went to hell.
Yeah.
Anyway, hello people who are watching on Twitch.
Yeah, now we have people in hot tubs and.
Oh, jeez. Okay, anyway, moving on from Fireteam Elite, it is still dumb fun. We actually found some challenge cards which seem to be pretty solid. There's a double damage, half the fire rate challenge card.
Okay.
Which it's pretty solid because, with I use a different assault rifle now, so I'm using a slower fire, but it hits like a truck. So with the even slower fire, it hits doubly hard, and it's a lot more easier to control.
Okay.
But most importantly, you've seen how those guns fire from the Aliens movie.
Correct.
They are fast.
Yes.
And that ammo counter goes down quick. So halve that and do double the damage, and it's actually really fun to shoot like that.
Kind of a no-brainer.
Well, it's fun. And also you get 1.5 times experience. So why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. That's fine. Whatever. XO1.
Oh, right.
Have you started it yet, Boston?
My counsel advises me to plead the 5th.
Okay. Okay. So, XO1, for those of you who don't know, this is our Game Club game this month, which we're recording shockingly soon.
It's also on Game Pass.
Yes, it is also on Game Pass. And I made the joke over the winter break because I'm pretty sure I beat this game on December 28th.
Right.
And I made the joke of, this is literally the furthest ahead I will ever be in Game Club for the entire calendar year of 2022.
That's right.
I can guarantee it.
Yep.
So stay tuned for my thoughts on that. I'm actually looking forward to talking with you guys about it, seeing how you feel, as I am kind of the the spaceship nerd of the group, we'll say.
Well, and part of the fun... Oh, God.
I was just going to say, I didn't say the giant space robot nerd. That's Musim.
Right. Yeah, they're very different. Yeah, and part of the fun of Game Club lately has been we've been playing stuff that we often don't really agree on. Maybe one person is really on it and the other people are like, yeah, that's fine. Lake was sort of an unfortunate outlier. But, a lot of times it's like, oh, the two of us love it. And the other person's like, what are you guys talking? What is this thing? Like, I think that's kind of... It's been pretty good.
Yeah. What was it? The Sexy Brutal was the other one?
Oh, God. No, the problem with the Sexy Brutal is it was non-functional. That was the problem.
I was going to say, I thought it was because it was broken on Switch or something.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so those out the way. I prayed. I definitely prayed and played Mushroom Quest.
Okay.
Don't write it down, Boston. Don't even bother.
Don't boss me around.
It's a 2-hour game. You get a bunch of gamer score from it.
I see. It has been stricken from the record.
Yeah, exactly. It should be stricken from the record because it's a collect all the items while solving rudimentary puzzles which have existed since the beginning of Pac-Man kind of levels of game.
How are you going to push these 3 boxes around this one screen? Oh no.
Legitimately one of the puzzles. You have a crate. There is a hole. You need to cross the hole to get to the thing. Whatever do you do?
There's a green spot, and I only have blue and yellow. Oh no. What am I gonna do?
That's a switch. You actually have green switches. It literally has the switch.
I have all these mirrors in the shaft of light. What am I gonna do?
It doesn't even have mirrors of light, dude. Is that
rudimentary
of a game?
Oh my God.
Yes. I was told this is what's known now in certain circles as a quote-unquote moon-peer game.
Oh, no.
So, thanks for the shade, Rob. I'm just saying.
I think we've actually been calling games like that a moon-peer game for quite a while. I just don't think you were paying attention. I think so.
Probably not.
I feel like maybe you're learning that they've been calling them that behind your back. Oh, we didn't tell you? Oh, I mean, oh no. I'm so sorry.
I'm pretty sure the last time I played a game that I got 1,000 gamer score in under an hour, I texted you saying, "Hey, I found a Moonpeer game for you."
Great. News to me. 2022, the year of the wide awakening.
Yeah, that's right.
Speaking of quote-unquote Moonpeer games, Late Elf in Discord recommended a quote-unquote Moonpeer game, which was quote-unquote leaving Game Pass at the end of December.
It's the last episode of the show. I'm so sorry.
No, we've still got like 4 years. We established that at the end of last year.
It's true.
The Little Acre, which did leave Game Pass on December 31st. I would give it a Game Pass pass, but it's not on Game Pass anymore, so it gets $25 of your dollars or whatever it is if you want to play it. It's a really small team point-and-click adventure game with some of the best animation I've ever seen.
Okay.
It feels like it was definitely made in Britain or Ireland, the United Kingdom or Ireland, or any of its constituents, because this is a very twee game, which is kind of leans into that kind of thing. I'm pretty sure at least 2 or 3 of the people in it are Irish, but the animation style is really solid. It's got really simple but not stupid puzzles. It's genuinely a fun little point-and-click adventure game. Like, it's really, really well animated. And, dude, even if you don't play a Boston, the music in this is a banger as well, to be completely honest. Like, I'm not the type of person who notices music, generally speaking, but it's got that very cool, folksy vibe to it the whole way through.
Oh, nice.
It was just relaxing, enjoying my time playing it. Yes, I did get 1,000 games going because it's a quote-unquote movie.
Man, I have this on the live stream here. Man, the animation in this guy, huh?
It's real sick.
Don Bluth calling for a check. It's not that high quality. That's like the highest compliment I can give something.
but like it looks really, really cool. Like it's animated fantastically well. Like I said, I would say probably safe for kids as well, considering one of the leads in this is a child. If you're watching the stream, it's the child in the bed in the corner. It's genuinely speaking just a fun little game, and I had a good time playing it for like 2.5 hours.
This looks cool.
And then realizing I missed an achievement and had to start the game again.
The Little Acre.
I genuinely, it's fine, and like the voice acting in it is pretty solid.
Nice.
And my final game I'm willing to talk about this week. I finally solved the curse of the Moonglow Bay.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Which is a game I have had 0 time to play, and now I have played for too much time.
Okay.
So, for the record, this is not a quote-unquote Moonpier game.
Achievements in that are spicy.
Real spicy.
Yeah.
Like, super spicy. I've got like 4 left, dude.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
This is I think my save file says almost 32 hours.
It's big.
That should be a 15-hour game.
Okay.
Because there is an achievement for completing the story-based content in a month. It's 30 in-game days.
Okay.
Which I did without even really trying.
Okay.
And then since then, I've gone from day 30 to day 72 just going after the other achievements.
Oh, wow.
Which is catch every single kind of fish in the game,
Yeah.
cook every single type of meal in the game, become best friends with everybody in the game.
Collect all the stamps.
Yes, which is best friends with everybody. It's...
Oh, okay.
I am fine with the way it looks now.
Okay.
Mostly because I've been playing the damn thing for 25 hours and therefore have got used to the way things look.
Right.
It is a fine game. It is so charming if you are an achievement hunter and have weird OCD like I have. Maybe don't play it, or play it on a banner if you're going to play it, considering it's on Game Pass.
That soundtrack. Whew. So good.
It's a really good soundtrack. The music is cool in every zone that you're in, because there's different biomes that you can go and fish in and so on and so forth.
I wish there were a lot more songs for when you're actually fishing. There's like one song, and that is a bummer.
And the fishing is relatively fun, and like there's a lot to be enjoyed in the game. There genuinely is a lot to enjoy in the game. But at the same time, it's like, dude, I could have, like, there's 6 kids games came out on Game Pass in December. I could have beat all 6 of them and got 1,000 game score on all of them in the amount of time it took me to play this thing.
Right.
I'm looking at you, Jerry the Racer, whatever you're called. I'm coming for you.
And the Paw Patrol, I'm coming for all of you.
100% that Paw Patrol has a dance minigame in it. I am down for that.
Great.
I will be the first person to say never ever insult kids games, because Disney's Bolt is still one of the best character action games I've ever played.
Yep. There's some good stuff out
Screw
there.
you, God of War. Disney Bolt does it better. But no, I mean, Moonglow Blade, it is fun. It genuinely is, and there's a lot of stuff in it to enjoy. But now I'm literally at day 72 of I have heard everything that everybody has to say. I know that because when I talk to people, they tell me, you've heard everything I have to say.
Right. Wink.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, so I know about all the fish. Now I think I'm literally just tying up loose ends. If I would have woken up earlier or got home earlier or didn't have to cook today, I would have had the game beaten by now and not have to think about it anymore. But no, I got to go back and catch and release a bloody Atlantic peregrine falcon or whatever the hell the fish is called.
Sounds like a real problem.
I never got back to Moonglow Bay. I feel like I had the same experience you did, where I'm like, it's fine. Like, I didn't come in having high expectations. I wasn't like, well, here's the next Stardew Valley, let's do this. And then, got my hopes
The next
dashed.
Stardew Valley is about being a chocolatier, dude. Come on.
Oh my god, he needs to stop posting screenshots because he's like stringing me along and it's not fair. But yeah, like I feel like I got about halfway through Moonglow Bay and was like, I think I'm okay. Like I think I've seen what I need to see and I'm good. No shade against the game. It's just kind of it's all right.
Yeah, it's fine and it's enjoyable. And to be honest, it is a very relaxing fishing game.
Yes. Yeah.
It's got about 25 hours too much content on it.
Yeah.
Like an idiot, I should have read the guide and be like, this game will take you 40 to 50 hours to complete.
Yeah.
But, by that time I'd already got 3 achievements and it's too late.
I think my problem with it is the fishing is good, the story is good, I like rebuilding the town, I like making friends with everyone in the town, like all this stuff I really like. I just feel like there's something about it that isn't clicking with me. I suspect I don't like how slow it is. But I know that sounds like a weird criticism when Stardew Valley is glacially slow on purpose. But there's something about Moonglow Bay that just kind of like it just really didn't click with me. It's a good game. It's just I don't want to keep playing it for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's genuinely fun.
Yeah,
and well worth your time playing it. But
yeah,
other than work and personal crap and everything else that's been going on in the world these days, that is all I've been playing. Mr. Nymph, take us away with your one game.
That was actually a lie. I got a lot to talk about, but which the listeners don't know about. But I told these guys I didn't play anything, which is kind of true, but not really. So let's go with.
Wait, did you play Disgaea 4 again? 5, whatever the 6, whatever the newest one is? When you say you didn't play anything?
And no. No, my Switch has been firmly tied up in the living room. So I beat Record of Lodoss Wonder Labyrinth.
Yeah, Record of Lodoss War, Deedlit in Wonder Labyrinth. I know this because I started it.
I have the whole title in my thing. I just wanted to not say it.
I also started this over the break, and that's a cool game. There's a lot of fun stuff. Like I like the switching between the two elements and like hopping between stuff and puzzling out with some arrows. Like it's a cool man. That game looks so good. Whew.
It handles really well too.
Yep.
It is on Game Pass.
Yes.
My son. So I started playing it because my son started playing it, and he said I should check it out. Like, all right, cool. So he beat it before I did because he had 2 weeks off.
Right. Like truly
winter
off.
Break.
Right.
Yeah. And then he also had like 3 snow days recently.
Oh, wow.
So he's way ahead the game on anything else for me. But so he beat the game, and I was pretty close to the end, but he started talking to me about like the boss rush mode and all this other fun stuff you can do. And I'm like, I am never going to do that because once I've beaten the game, that's usually it for me.
Uninstalling it right away.
Yeah. But I mean, I really enjoyed the game. Story, yeah, I mean, it's there. I wasn't really...
I feel like there's so much of it that's like, you've seen the anime. Anyways, here's 4 or 5 characters. And I'm like, I have not seen this show at all. I don't know any of these people. They're fight. That's a bad guy? Oh, okay, cool. They look bad. But sure.
I think for this game, the story is there if you want it.
Yeah.
The gameplay is there for you to enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Man, it plays
so.
well.
Yeah. So I really loved the game. After that, though, my son started playing Luna Knights.
Yeah, that's installed on my
Luna
Xbox
Knights
too.
Is another Metroidvania made by the same company. I don't know if it's the exact same team.
I think it's the same team, yeah.
Okay, because I know Ladybug Studios is still the developer.
I believe so, yeah.
So, anyway, obviously I didn't look into it too hard, but basically the UI looks exactly the same, except for that you're playing as a maid that throws knives.
Yep.
And she has the ability to stop time.
Yep. Apparently this game is incredible.
It is pretty fun. Yeah. It's also stupid hard sometimes.
I have heard that too, yeah.
Yeah. I am really enjoying it. I'm still getting used to it, because coming off of Wonder Labyrinth, it's a little different because your attacks in Luna when you're throwing the knives, it drains your MP.
Okay.
Is a new thing that I have to get used to, that I can't just keep hitting things.
Right.
However, to kind of get around that is that when you stop time, when you go to throw your knives, instead of it taking away from your MP, it takes away from your time gauge.
Interesting.
So
okay.
Now I've gotten into the habit where I'll stop time and then I'm just throwing knives everywhere, and there's just like a wall of knives that just go flying as soon as this time starts again.
Oh, nice.
There's actually an ability that I picked up called 1,000 Knives, where I'll activate it when time is stopped, and it's literally 1,000 knives that are just hanging out there waiting for time to restart, and it's kind of messed up.
That's great.
But it's a lot of fun. I haven't played a whole lot of it recently because I was like, well, if I'm going to play a Metroidvania game, I should actually play a Metroid game.
Mm-hmm.
So I got Metroid Dread for my kids for Christmas.
Okay.
I am also not terribly far in this game either. I have gotten past my second or third Emmy group or area, whatever.
Right.
Those suck.
Those look real bad, man.
It's not so. What happens is that when you get into certain sections of this map, they're called Emma. I can't remember if they're Emmys or Emma.
Emmy. I think it's EMMI.
Emmy. Okay.
Yeah.
So certain sections of this map are Emma areas or Emmys. I'm already doing it. I forgot. Whatever. So the mechanical monsters that kill you.
Right. The bad robots.
Yeah. In those sections, they're designated, and they don't leave those sections. And you know when you're going into an area that has them.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like they're chasing you throughout the entire map. They stay confined to their area. Okay. Which is great, because the amount of times that my son has watched me just like panic running through a map to try to break, line of sight. And then he's like, I think you have to go down in that corner. It's like, yeah, well, I got to wait for this thing to not be on top of me so I can get around to that corner. So I'm like bouncing around, sliding under things, jumping around. There was actually one that scared my son and I, because the map breaks so that I went through a door, so it brought me into another area, but it was still an area that they control. Mm-hmm. I go down one level and there's a door to lead me back into the map that it is currently in. And I did not think that it could reach the door that I was standing next to. I thought it was going to come from the top. That way I could move back into the other map. No. That SOB came in through that same door that I was standing right next to and scared the hell out of my son and I. And I'm sitting there like trying to run away.
Oh, man.
But I mean, it's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it. It looks really great. Plays docked. It plays pretty well on Switch. Nice. I haven't tried it in handheld mode yet. I will say, if you're picking it up, unlike previous Metroid games, as soon as you get the missiles, just use it on everything. You get refills and stuff like nonstop.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like the old Metroid games where it's like, well, I have 12 missiles, so I need to hang on to these until I need them.
Right, until I fight Mother
Brain. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
It also does the parry system, which I don't. Did that start in Other M? Or was that in Fusion?
I don't remember. It's been a while since I played Fusion.
Now. Yeah, it's for Metroid. The parry system is a new quote-unquote system,
right?
But I mean, the last Metroid game has been, what, 15 years ago? So.
Yeah, Fusion was a very long time ago.
Yeah. So yeah, everything was good. I really love the way that game plays. Nice. I will play more of it soon, hopefully.
Yeah, I gotta pick that up.
Yeah. From there, my son has decided that we are going to play Deep Rock Galactic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because this month it came out on PlayStation Plus.
Yep.
And I'm like, dude, this thing's been on Game Pass since like Game Pass has been a thing. He's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, we could have played this whenever, forever.
I've been playing this for like a year and a half, man.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, I think I had originally played it the first time Moon when you brought it up like forever ago. Yeah. I checked it out then. A lot's changed.
Okay.
Yes, a lot changes in that game pretty much every time you turn it on. It feels like.
Yeah.
So are you guys playing it on the PlayStation?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So bad news, no crossplay.
Oh,
yeah,
bummer.
I kind of figured, but But it works out because I've got my PS5 in here, and he's got my old PS4 out in the living room, so whatever. He has gone gun-ho on that game. Like I said, he had winter break and then 3 snow days.
Oh,
so
he's got nothing but time.
Yeah, exactly.
Grind like crazy. Here we go.
Yep. So I think we first started playing it last week. Yeah, it came out whenever, I think it was Tuesday when it was available. Anyway,
is he like double prestige by this point? Like,
yeah,
he's the king of the underground.
Well, so we both start out at like the same level, same day, and then like as of yesterday, he's like level 12 or something like that, and I was still like level 2. he's
like chugging his 10th Mountain Dew. He's like, Dad, I did it. It's like, buddy, go to bed.
He's got like all these perks and stuff that he's unlocked, and he's sitting there explaining the game to me, and I'm like, dude, like I played this game when it first came out. It's like I'm not as far as you, but I know what's going on for the most part.
Right.
It's like okay. So we keep doing just whatever random missions he wants. I'm supposed to be doing like another egg hunt mission. It looks like the continue on with the assignment board, and
the best thing is, in order to progress, you need to do those missions before you can do any of the other things. And if he's choosing just random missions for you guys to do, then you're not making any progress at all.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm not making direct progress, but I am getting like enough, items and currency and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just I don't have access to all the computers and stuff. And honestly, I'm not gonna play this by myself a whole lot. I'm mostly just gonna play it with them. So whatever. But like, I think it was Saturday, he wanted to do a mission where we took on 2 dreadnoughts. And he was telling me, he's like, oh man, this is really fun. And, I did it by myself, a couple days ago, and I had a really good time. It only took like 20 minutes, and I'll get into the time frame later. I'm like, all right, cool. So we jump in, we start to do it, we get to our first dreadnought, and 20 minutes later, I am still dead, and he is running around trying to revive me. And I'm sitting there yelling from my office to the living room, 20 minutes, huh? And he's like, I don't get it. It wasn't this hard when I was playing it by myself.
Let's introduce you to scaling difficulty, kiddo.
Yes. So, like, number 1, he has a little AI robot helping him when he plays by himself. And number 2, scaling difficulty.
Oh, man.
So he's got the AI robot pretty maxed out for his level and what he has. But yeah, so we just could not do it. And so finally I'm just like, look, man, you need to pick easy mode and short length.
Right.
Like, because all I'm doing, these are the things that happen to me in this game. We fill up on the items that we need, and then the donkey goes back to the drop ship. I am looking at the map trying to figure out where we need to go. I get attacked. It's dark. The donkey isn't there. My son isn't there. I don't know where the hell I'm at. It's dark.
You looked at your map for 10 seconds and you're alone. It's like, why?
Exactly. I can't pull up my map because every time I do, something hits me and it drops the map. So now I'm just like running in the darkness trying to figure out, trying to kill things so I can look at the map to figure out where I am, where I need to go, and where he's at.
I know if you ask your kid, like, where are you, dude? He's like, oh yeah, I'm just like over here in the other room by the crystals. It's like, yeah, thanks.
The worst part is like, I'm above you, and I'm like, yeah, so's everything else.
We're in a mine.
The worst thing that had happened. Go ahead.
Like, the best part of this whole story is I have just realized that me and Rob are Justin's parents. Because, I'm not kidding, while we were playing Aliens Fireteam Elite,
You're having
we are
flashbacks?
following the objective markers. We are going towards the mission, trying to speedrun them through these missions. We get to the next, reinforcement point where you're going to get attacked by waves of aliens. And we turn around, and there's Justin's little silhouette through the walls, miles away, following the AI dude who's just following him. So it's Justin following an AI dude, following Justin,
circles.
following an AI dude.
This guy seems to know where he's going. I'm with him.
Well, and the messed up thing. So in the last mission, they've added a new thing where it used to be when you would hit the drop pod on the mule, the big red button, your drop pod would show up and your mule would just go, and you would try to follow the mule. A lot of times, it didn't work because the mule just it just climbs walls. So what they've added now is that when you call your drop pod, the mule will drop yellow light posts with like indicators showing you which way you should run. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which is great, except for, once again, if it's climbing a vertical wall, the stupid light post doesn't help me. Yeah. So my son and I were together at this point. We were trying to dig our way up. I play as a gunner, he plays as a driller. So he has the ability where he's got the 2 drills on his hands and he can just drill like through the walls no problem. He starts drilling up so that way we can follow the mule. We break, to a surface point, and he gets out of his hole. He continues on, and I jump up to grab the ledge so I can get out of this hole onto the surface point, and I fling myself off this canyon back into the darkness. I don't know where I am. I don't know where that hole's at. I can't find the stupid light post for the mule, and all I have is this little indicator that says dropship is like, I don't know, like 146 kilometers or something like, something stupid.
Right.
And it's like, oh, and you have 4 minutes, and I'm getting attacked by everything. I can't see anything because it's dark.
Oh my God.
God, this is such a pain. Besides all of that, and me wanting to rage quit a couple of times,
right,
it's a fairly enjoyable experience.
Nice.
But there's just been, especially with the swarms, like I don't know what we were doing, but there was one map that we were trying to collect something, and we were just constantly getting swarmed. Ran out of ammo. We didn't have enough of the nitra to bring a drop pod for ammo because we had constantly being attacked, so we haven't had the chance to, dig or grab anything. And that sucked. Turns out that we were on like the hard difficulty, and this was like a super long one. I'm like, there was no way that was happening. But then we find like another mission that he gets us in where we're on a platform that has like miniguns on it. And your objective is just to find these crystals, dump them in the mini pod while this thing is defending itself. Like, cool. So that made it a lot easier. It still sucked at the end when we were waiting for the drop pod to come in because you get swarmed constantly and all of our miniguns were already pretty low on ammo. But it worked out. But yeah, so Deep Rock Galactic. Really fun game. My son is really into it. He is already also he's also taken hold of the fantasy idea that all dwarves need beards, so he was really annoyed that his dwarf did not start with a beard. So he had to buy the cosmetic items, in-game currency.
Gotta buy your beard.
To get yep. And they do have a battle pass going on right now. I don't think there's a premium version. I think it's just a battle pass for you to get stuff.
Yeah, because I don't think this game is free other than like PS Plus and Game Pass. I think it is a 4K game.
Yeah,
I think I paid $30 for it because it was one of those quote unquote B style games.
Yeah.
I think I paid like $30 for it, and since when I first started playing it, it was like, oh, we're on update 12. And now it's on update like 7,000 or something. Right. It's ridiculous how much they come up with new stuff for this game.
That's cool.
Yeah. Moving on from that, I've got 2 more that I'm going to talk about for this week. Pathfinder Kingmaker.
Oh, yeah.
Don't know why, but always around this time of year, for some reason, I feel like playing a CRPG.
Yeah.
So why not a Baldur's Gate Pathfinder-ish game?
Yep.
I'm already like halfway through it, so
nice.
Those games are not short.
Is this on Game Pass? I feel like it is.
No, I'm actually. This was free on Epic.
Oh, okay.
Part of their holiday thing.
Right.
So I've actually been playing that on PC.
Okay.
I do also own it. Actually, I don't remember if I do own it on Xbox or not. I don't know if it ever came to Xbox. Anyway, I've got like a whole bunch of the old Baldur's Gate stuff. I bought like the big box and all that crap that came with the beholder and all that. It was fantastic. But anyway, so I've been playing a lot of that. Mostly, I'm past the point where you get your kingdom and you're setting all that up and you're trying to make nice with everybody. Except for that, apparently at some point early on in the game, I got tired of everyone's BS and just started killing people.
Right.
So
okay, so you did a U.
Yeah, so now I have a lot less complaining and a lot more working going on in my kingdom.
Right.
And then my final game that I will talk about is Nier Replicant.
Oh, right.
Kids got me that.
Okay,
for
just to
Christmas as
clarify,
well.
this is the one that's got the whole bunch of numbers after it, right?
Yeah, the version 1.27 whatever.
Yeah, it's the remake,
of the original one.
Yes.
remaster plus extra of the original Nier game.
So yeah, and this one is the one, because the original Nier on the PS3 you played as father, daughter.
Correct.
In the original Japanese version of that game, it was brother, sister.
Correct.
So this is that original Japanese version where you're playing as brother, sister.
Gotcha.
I have not played this game since it came out in PS3.
Ditto.
So there's parts of it that I remember, and there's like whole swaths of this game that I don't remember at
Right.
all. This game has always had like this weird, anytime I think about playing it, not this version but the original version, I always get like this weird depressed feeling about it.
Oh yeah. Weird.
Yeah, exactly. And as I'm playing this, I don't get that feeling so much, but I understand where it was coming from, where this world is like really bleak and everything just kind of sucks and it's not great. I still really like Kane.
Yeah. Every time I think of this game, I think of that intro where she's just going nuts throughout the entirety of that black screen, and it's just, oh, Shadow Lord, I love you, Shadow Lord. It's just the whole thing is so. If anyone hasn't seen, number one, it's very explicit. Number two,
yes,
you should watch just the intro cutscene to Nier. It's like one of the best rants in video games.
So she runs around in nothing but lingerie, has a very filthy mouth, and kicks a whole lot of ass. Really a woman after my own heart. But it's funny because when you first see her, it's like, okay, she's just, this is just the game developers.
It's a JRPG,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as the game goes on, her character actually kind of grows. She doesn't ever seem to put on more clothes from what I remember. Which doesn't bother me. I don't care. Whatever.
It's a Yoko Taro game. Like there's, for better or for worse, he's really honest about like I just like how women look. And it's like, okay, yeah, you're honest about it.
In the original Nier, when you were playing as the father, you were running around shirtless for the entire game.
Yeah. From
what I remember. So, but her character still develops and evolves, and she's, especially when you get with Emil. And that kind of takes on like this brother, sister, mother, son kind of feel to it.
Right.
But God, I absolutely love her foul mouth. Just some of the boss fights that I've had with her has been fantastic.
Yep.
So, I am at the point where the time skip has already happened. Weird things are afoot, and I never put it together because when I was playing Nier Automata, I knew that there were some connections here and there, but I didn't know how closely they were supposed to be connected. And I don't know if it's because this is a remake, and so they've kind of tied those ends together here.
Oh sure,
or if
I don't know.
These were always together in the original, but there does seem to be a lot more, not like in your face, but like passages that you'll read or something that connect the two in kind of weird ways.
Right.
And there's already, like, I've already seen stuff talking about how, A2 may be modeled after Kane and all this
interesting
stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah. But it's a really fun game. I'm really liking it. I still enjoy how these games randomly go from, oh, I'm just playing an action game where I'm hacking and slashing, to, oh, no, this is now a dual-stick shooter, and, oh, no, this is now a 2D platformer.
Right. Oh, now depression.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, my question is if this is Nier Automata made these things huge, they've gone backwards and they've remade this one. Drakengard 1 remake when is what I have to ask.
Oh man, I'd love to play those 3 games because they especially Drakengard 3 looked so good, but it was famous for running so poorly on the PS3 that I just never played it.
Apparently the third one, what is it? Ending D is actually the lead off for Nier.
Yes. Yeah, I have no idea. I know it's one of them has one of the endings, which is the specific.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they all feed into the Nier games.
it's one of those page turners where it's like, oh yeah, if you hit this page at this time and follow the route, and
yeah.
So, but yeah, it's just weird. Yoko Taro is a weird,
weird, great, strange, mask-faced person.
Yeah, it's like you have to I don't know, man. I got no words.
Yeah,
it's just
that's Yoko Taro, man.
It's almost like with comedy, where it's like you have to be in a certain mood for certain comedians.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, with him, like I enjoy his stuff.
Yeah,
I just have to be in a certain mood to enjoy his stuff. Like anytime he comes out with something new, it's like I may not get to it right away, but eventually
you're
I'm
on the list. But like not right now. I'm in a good mood today.
But yeah, besides that, I think Boston may be talking about the other one that I kind of want to talk about. So
okay,
I'll move it on to you.
We'll start off with the hit game right now, Wordle. That none of us have talked about
yet.
What
I was talking about.
Yeah, taking the internet by storm. If you haven't played Wordle yet, that's a word L-E is how you spell it. You have 6 tries to guess a 5-letter word, and it does the thing that you kind of see in a lot of video games, especially like point-and-click adventure games, visual novels and stuff, where if you guess the word correctly, or the letter correctly, but it's in the wrong spot, it's yellow. If you guess the letter correctly and it's in the right spot, it's green. Figure out the word. I really appreciate that nearly immediately, as soon as it got big, people started, number one, missed the point of the game and started cloning it so you never had to stop playing the game. You didn't have to wait the 24 hours. And I was like, gosh, you immediately missed the entire point of this game. Which is fine. You do you. We only have so much time on this earth, as Yoko Taro likes to remind us. But I like the whole thing of being able to wake up in the morning and like really early in the morning try and figure out my word. Would have never gotten the word today in a million guesses, but that's okay.
Dude, I came across that by accident because I do the same thing where I'll wake up and I'll at least do the first guess to try to see where the words lay, because you don't get hints. It's just, hey, here's your 6 tries.
Yep.
I started that this morning. I clued my wife into it today, just to let her know what I was doing on my phone. So then she started thinking about it, and we're like driving around doing stuff, and then we get home, we have lunch, and then I start talking to my kids about it. And my daughter has like no interest in it whatsoever, but my son was like interested in what we were trying to figure out. And so I'm explaining to him what's going on, and my wife is just like sitting there on her phone, and I'm like, "Are you looking up words?" And she's like, she doesn't say anything, but she looks at me, and I'm like, don't do that, okay? I know that there's not any associated rules, but my house rule is we try it, we think about it.
Exactly.
Like if you want to pull up like a piece of mail, like junk mail, and look at the words there,
start scribbling out some words, like
exactly. But hers, my wife actually came up with this because I figured out on the 5th guess, I figured out placement for 2 letters or 3. I had 2 green letters and 1 yellow letter. So my wife starts thinking, then she starts talking to my daughter, and all of a sudden she starts talking about Barbie's dream house, and all of a sudden they came up with the word, and my wife's like, try it. All right, and I type it in, and sure as us, that was the word.
Nice.
It's like, but yeah.
That's a usual Wordle day. We probably won't talk about it ever again because you're inundated with it literally everywhere. But if you haven't tried Wordle, it's fun. It takes a couple of minutes a day. You learn a new word sometimes, or you remember a word you forgot. It's fun. And talk to your friends about it.
That's kind of all I'm using it for. Is just kind of rack my brain to think.
Wake the old gray matter up.
Like I was telling my wife, it's like we all could use a little bigger vocabulary list than what we use. So I may not know the word, but it doesn't stop me.
You could learn a new word today. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I finished chapter 2 of Life is Strange True Colors. Much shorter than the first one, but I think I missed some content. When it gives you the after chapter thing of like, here's all the decisions you and your friends made. There was like an entire page of things I just didn't do, and I was like, I should have explored the town more. But after how long the first chapter was, I wasn't mad that the second chapter was shorter, because it spent the entire chapter like getting to the point of what the rest of the game seems like it's going to be. Like, here is the thing that happened at the very end of the first chapter, like when it cuts to black. Here's the fallout from it and kind of the consequences, and then here's what we're going to do. Like, here's the point going on. So kind of happy that either it did that on purpose or I did that on sort of by accident, but kind of happy it's motoring along here. Okay. I've had a game on my phone for a while. It's a Kairosoft game, and much like Nier Replicant, I haven't felt like playing it yet, and I'm glad I didn't. I started Silver Screen Story, which I think is one of the more recent ones. You're running a
Hollywood theater movie thing.
Yeah, you're running a movie studio, so you're making movies, and it's not like the sort of isometric top-down look that the game dev story type of Kairosoft games are. You're running your lot, like your movie lot from the side. This game is really good, but my biggest criticism of it is also kind of praise for it. That if game dev story is like a Kairosoft 100 level class in college, this is like a master's level class. Like, there is everything happening on the screen all the time for multiple studios that you're running, where you're making multiple movies at the same time that you're making decisions on. Stuff is flying all over the screen as like stuff gets added to each movie. I'm at the point where I have like 5 or 6 movies in the theaters at the same time, so I'm getting like bonuses and updates for those. Everything is happening all the time. It's cool if you kind of know how to play these games, you kind of know how to massage and game the systems, but this is absolutely not a game. Like, game dev story is still the first Kairosoft game you should play, because that introduces you as gently as these games can. But like, maybe when you're on your 10th Kairosoft game, this is the one you go to. But it is really good. A lot of the stuff they're making, I appreciate that they make a lot of this stuff easier that was annoying in early Kairosoft games. Like, sometimes when you get to the later stages of game dev stories, say, and you're trying to pick like which combination of genre and stuff you're going to make for your game, this game kind of ramps it up where you can mix 2 genres and 2 subgenres together. And at the point where I'm at, you can hire 5 actors for the same movie. So there are 9 variables that go into one single film that you then have to name at the end. The thing that I really like in this is they just have a random button for all 9 of those variables. Like, the game will give you hints where it's like, maybe that won't be a good movie, so you can kind of hit the button again. Same with the actors. The thing that I appreciate the most is you can have the game randomly choose titles for your movie too. So they're very quickly like putting 3 random words together, but it's pretty good when you get like an action movie called The Friday Business, and it's like, yes, that is absolutely this.
Is it like some Mad Lad?
It's absolutely Mad Libs. Like, it's just like, The Price of Copper, and it's like, that would be a cool movie. I'm making like a space star high school musical movie, but all right, yeah, cool. So there's a lot to like about it. I'm playing it on my phone, and I think it's like most of their stuff, I think it's like $4 or $5. So if you've played a lot of Kairosoft stuff and you like it, you're looking for something a little bit different, it's pretty cool. Silver Screen Story. A lot of fun. For my next game, my wife and I did the impossible. We have completed a game of Civilization 6.
Lies.
I didn't.
It's easy when you leave everything on auto.
Well, no, we actually played this one. I didn't say we finished a game of Darkest Dungeon. That's lies. Like, I don't believe someone finished like Doom 2 or Darkest Dungeon. I don't believe that. But we played. We had been frustrated by the AI in the game. We're playing on PS5. Being like the barbarians are a little too aggressive. Like the other city-states in the game are just a little bit too, like, they're always popping up and being like, how dare you? And I'm like, what did I do? I'm not even doing anything. Like, I haven't done anything in 5 turns. I'm just, stuff's building in my kingdom. Like, what's wrong with you, Cleopatra? Like, come on, man. So we decided to do a 250 turn game where it was just her and I, and see who could reach a non-combat victory condition first. I accidentally won at turn 235 by launching a moon probe, which I did not realize was a science victory. So
accidentally.
Yeah, exactly.
I promise I was just researching stuff.
How many times did your wife kick down the door yelling, "How dare you"?
No, we're sitting on the couch next to each other, so...
Oh.
So the only thing surprising about that was watching the end movie play, because we have 2 TVs side by side, and we have like our 2 entertainment centers side by side, so we can play stuff next to each other. And the end movie for that was incredible, because I had this like this utopia, like green rolling hills. It's the future. You made it. And next to her, it's like these burned out skyscrapers. It's like you were lost to the corners of history. It's like, no, like we both wait a minute, like we both did okay. It just one of us won. We're both they can't.
If you're not first, you're last.
Yeah, like Civilization is teaching some hard lessons here, man.
Dude, did you not learn anything from American history?
That's right.
You launched to the moon first, therefore your society is the best in the world.
That's right. You win for all history. We did it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's really crazy. But I feel like the more that we're playing together without the pressures of kind of the combat in the game, I feel like I'm starting to appreciate, oh, here's how I want to set up my tech tree. Here's how I want to set up my towns and everything. Oh, this is what trade routes really do. Now that I don't have to worry about fighting off barbarians like literally every turn. I feel like I'm appreciating the other 3 X's of this 4X game. Though every time we're playing it, I'm always sort of like, God, Stellaris is a great game. like it's no shade to Civ 6, but I'm just like, oh, I could be playing Stellaris. I could be in space. That's where Stellaris is. So Civ 6
next time, man.
Yeah,
Can you do multiplayer in Stellaris?
Yeah, you totally can. And
okay.
We tried once, and I think my daughter is not always the most understanding. Again, she's 5. She's not the most understanding of other people are doing something that does not involve you, and that's okay. That last part of that sentence is not okay with her. So it's a lot of like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Spaceships? Oh, those aliens? Are you playing as the aliens? It's like, shh, just. I'm trying to learn how to play a massively complicated 4X game. I also can't teach you at the same time.
I'm going to tell you right now that never stops.
Yeah, and that's okay. It's important for her to ask questions.
No, it's fine.
I just also can't teach you how to play Stellaris because you're 5.
Exactly.
I'm 40 and I'm having a hard time learning. So like, yeah.
Did you keep building up your military and just moving it slightly closer to the border just to give your wife business?
Every turn you just move all of them one square, and it's just like we're doing some testing. We're running some routines and some drills out here. Don't even worry about it. Yeah. My last game here this episode, it's the one I fired up because I was curious, and I've spent the last 2 weeks playing nearly nothing but, and that is the Riftbreaker. This is on Game Pass. It runs pretty well on Series X. It has been on super sale for PS5. It runs a smidge.
Hold on.
Yes.
This says it's a survival game.
Hold on. I'll get to it. Don't worry about it. It's got a lot. It's got a lot. It's not a survival game, but we'll get there.
Yeah, I've seen those.
It runs a smidge better on PS5 because the SSD is a little bit faster, but otherwise they're nearly identical. Okay, the Riftbreaker is a twin stick, tower defense, base building, semi RTS. It's got a lot of stuff in it. What I think is so interesting about it is you get plopped on this planet, and the very, very beginning of the game is the survival thing of like, where are we going to build our base? What are we going to do for defenses and stuff like that? But very quickly, I was really worried that this was going to turn into one of those like level by level base building games where it's like, oh man, you did the objective. All right, go back to space. We're going to go to another planet. No, like the base you're building is the base you're building for the game. Which
good.
Yeah, which I really, really like because I like the idea of, all right, I have, there's 3 giant research trees too, so a lot of it is like, okay, cool, I researched a new type of gun, and that can go against this monster that's been attacking my, where do I build them though? It's like, all right, I gotta push out the borders of my base a little bit and bring down my defenses for a little bit. But with the benefit of you're highly encouraged to build walls and fortify them and build all your guns and everything, because it is a tower defense game. You're going to have, when enemies come and attack, there are multiple waves of enemies that are coming, and their main thing is to come in and try to take you down. They're breaking down your walls, they're breaking down your guns. Like there's just
Jericho.
There you go. So they're all kind of there's going to be multiple waves coming at the same time, but you also have the benefit of it being a twin stick shooter, or one of your arms can turn into a sword, which is still an absolutely incredible thing that all robots should do. And you can get out there and get in the thick of it if you really want, or while you're out exploring to try and get missions done or find new areas to get more materials and stuff. Like you're out there with your guns and you got a dash move and you have shields and stuff. Like you're out there kind of shooting down a bunch of monsters and aliens and stuff. I tried it. I fired it up just to say like, oh, I've heard a couple people say that this is really interesting, and then like that is all I have wanted to play for the last 2 weeks, which is genuinely surprising. There is a demo out called the Riftbreaker Prologue, I believe, which is, it will basically, if you don't have an Xbox or Game Pass, that's a really good way of getting into it, where it just kind of gives you the basics of here's how to build a base, here's waves and stuff like that, so you can kind of understand. But one of the neat things it does is to kind of counter the thing that I was talking about earlier that I don't like what base building games do, where it's like, all right, level 1 complete. Level 2, you're starting back over. What it does is, once you get your base significantly built up, you can teleport to other areas of this planet you're on. The planet is like monstrously huge, so you're essentially teleporting to other biomes to either do some scientific research or set up kind of this well-defended away base that's just like, oh, there's a huge cache of materials over there and you're running low on materials. Go over there, build up this little kind of self-sustaining base that will mine materials for you, that will send it back to your main base automatically. So you can kind of get that satisfaction of setting up a new base and a new kind of little base over time, but then you go back and you still have your big, sprawling, well-defended, kind of automated base. Riftbreaker is super cool. I can't recommend trying it out enough. It sounds like a lot, but the tutorial is really good. There's enough story to kind of keep pulling you forward. The robot sort of exosuit you wear talks to you, which is always a classic. It leads you into and kind of eases you into the game really, really well. I can't recommend it enough. Riftbreaker is a genuine surprise. So go check it out. Go try out the Riftbreaker. But that's all I'm playing. Let's take a break. I gotta write down February Rain's title here, The Friday Business.
Yeah, I wrote that down too and saw them post it. Like, cool. I will be right back.
Alright. Let's check news stories while we're waiting. Let's see if there's anything good. Half-Life mod ditches Gordon for Spyro the Dragon. Great.
Sure, why not?
Oh my god, I need to share this GIF here on stream. Let me zoom in on this. Just Spyro the Dragon running around Black Mesa, running into pretty much everything. That's great. Half-Life Year of the Dragon, it's called. That's great.
Of course.
Man. Red Dead Online players are frustrated after months without a major update. Yeah, man. You didn't make that GTA 5 online money. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm really surprised.
No. Amazon released a new trailer for its MMO Lost Ark. I keep forgetting that's coming out.
Is it 2 MMOs they're working on now?
Yeah, New World is having some problems. Well, New World is having bigger problems than the problems they've had before. New World has had a lot of problems, and now apparently the problem with MMOs is always going to be there's never enough content for your players because they're always going to chew through it faster than you can make it. But apparently the development on New World has largely screeched to a halt, which is a bummer. Where are they playing on Awesome Games Done Quick right now? They're playing Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance. Okay.
Yeah, I was watching them a little earlier too.
Yeah, I'll have that on in the background for a while, like I usually do.
Oh, he's doing it blindfolded.
Oh, I didn't even look. Oh, jeez. I was looking at his health bar that says prevent cancer. And I was like, what is... Oh, he got blown up.
He was trying to run into a locker and couldn't do it, and then, yeah, he got blown up.
Fission mailed. Man, I love MGS2.
Oh, man.
You can do it, bud. Oh, there you go. Get the call about the... Don't take another step. Uh-oh.
Some of the stuff that these guys do.
It's nuts, man. Okay. You guys ready for our next segment?
Yes.
Alright, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of January 10th, 2022. Deep Rock Galactic, as we talked about before, PS4 and PS5 came out, also on Game Pass or on PS Plus. That came out last week. This week, Monster Hunter Rise comes out on the PC. Boy, that looks... Monster Hunter on PC just looks so good, man.
It always has, is the problem.
Yeah, and it's a bummer to see him come out again so late, but I get the impression that the Monster Hunter team is not nearly as large as maybe their games seem like they would be. So I don't know. I keep looking at Monster Hunter Stories too and saying, like, I could go for like a Monster Hunter turn-based RPG. Sure, I gotta pick that up someday. Astroneer comes out on the Switch, which we're gonna wipe from Moon's mind, just lest you spend all night laying in bed playing Astroneer.
I don't have a Switch, dude.
That's true. I keep forgetting. That's the saving grace here for. Also, Astroneer probably isn't going to run super well on the Switch, or will have incredible fog in the distance.
Issues.
Yeah, so
Maybe it's streaming.
yeah, well, who knows? Maybe yeah. And
They're
God of
pulling
War.
the cloud.
That's right. And God of War comes out on the PC. If you have you got a new video card, that looks like it's going to be a pretty big showpiece for like DLSS and all that.
Let's just talk about it. That game is beautiful anyway.
Yeah, that game is beautiful on the
PS4.
PS4. Like, yeah, man. Let's talk about our news stories this week. Shock of all shocks. Here in the first week of 2022, E3 is going virtual again.
Pandemic, you say?
No. Oh, we're the ESA. There's no pandemic. Crazy. What
They're not the only ones trying to ignore it.
Yeah. Whoops. ESA told VentureBeat, quote, the ongoing health risks surrounding COVID-19 and its potential impact on the safety of exhibitors and attendees, end quote. But wait, there's more. Multiple industry reporters have said, whoops, they made this decision in November, and it just accidentally kind of got out earlier than they wanted it to. So this has got to be the final nail in the E3 coffin, right? Like this, if they have one this year, this is the last one. Like
the ESA is too big to fail, dude.
I think they're too stubborn to give up, but is anyone going to come? Like, immediately, of course, Jeff Keighley was like, oh, we're doing the Summer Games Fest 2022. Don't forget about that. And it's like, ooh. You cheeky so-and-so, Keighley.
Yeah, but come on. The Games Fest was sick as hell last year.
That's true.
E3 was
Yeah, well, and the thing that is more and more apparent every year is nobody needs the ESA to get their stuff out there because they have a Twitch account. Like, all of these people, Microsoft could be like, hey, we're going to, like, show some new games. They'll get 4 million viewers per minute. Like, it's just, you don't need a big stage anymore.
Yeah.
Can I get a late 2023 prediction in? Or
Absolutely.
a very early 2023 prediction in,
I'd love to hear it, yeah.
ESA crumbles, despite what I've just said. ESA crumbles and falls to pieces, and everybody's like, oh no, the ESA.
What are we going to do?
And all of the gamers are like, yay, The Witch is dead, and so on and so forth. And somebody brings in legal action against all these microtransaction loot boxes and the things that have 3 initials that we're not going to talk about until the next news story. Someone brings in legal action against that, and then all of a sudden, everyone decides, crap, if only there was some giant conglomerate of gaming companies that could defend us in court when this thing is happening.
Right. Maybe they'll defend us in court the right way this time. Let's bring them back.
No, they defend the corporations the right way, dude. They don't defend us the right way.
There have been in the last couple of years, there have been a couple of instances, I can't remember the specifics off the top of my head, where the members of the ESA are like, hey, you shouldn't, that's not the way you should be voting. And the ESA is like, no, we got it, don't worry. It's like, no, you represent us, not yourself? Like, wait a minute. Yeah.
So you think.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about our next news story. We are loath to give NFTs any level of publicity beyond the Twitter weirdos that they deserve. But this one, this is a really tough one. So Square Enix enters the NFT fray, ... with a possible silver lining. So let's take the entire trip along together here. On December 31st, Square Enix president released his usual end-of-the-year letter where he commits to the company as a whole, their big push over the year. Unfortunately, this year, it was NFTs. The language he used was especially terrible, where he said he doesn't want people to just play games for enjoyment. He wants to play games for investment, which just gives me the goosebumps in a real terrible way. There were no specifics. I tweeted after this came out that I felt like ignoring Square Enix's mobile divisions, because they're kind of bad, ethically, to be specific. I felt like this was a real betrayal of kind of core ethics for Square, who's largely like a single-player RPG and single-player action RPG developer, and then makes like the 2 largest MMOs on the planet. It felt like a real kind of betrayal of core values for that company. Then someone on Ars Technica brought up a really interesting point. A commenter on their news article. The account was Acantant. I just want to give him a shout out. It says, in fairness and with a slightly optimistic view, this is probably more about signaling to investors that company, Square Enix, is paying attention to latest buzzword trend. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. And they then went on to say 2021's letter was all about 5G and cloud gaming. You know, their very distinct push into those technologies that Square Enix is famous for. And 2020's message, AI and the Internet of Things. So that made me feel a little bit better, where this is very much like when your boss comes back from a business conference and he's like, I just saw the coolest, our business needs to pivot to this thing and we need to do this yesterday. And you're like, oh man, boss, so great, such a great idea. Why don't you take a long weekend? We're definitely going to work on it. No big deal. And you throw that email in the trash. It feels very much like that, where it's like, oh, you guys love NFTs, we love them more. I have NFT number 1 or whatever. Square Enix here, me, the Mr. Square. Oh, NFTs are my lifeblood. No big deal. We'll get right on that. Don't worry. Wink. So hopefully that's the case, especially in the week where Konami came out with NFTs, because of course they did, and they're the cheapest and the laziest because they're Konami and because they're NFTs. So that was massively disappointing to see, but also not super surprising. So hopefully Square Enix doesn't go that route, because Forspoken doesn't need NFTs. I'm here to tell you. Forspoken looks super cool.
Dare you?
I'm also saying that because Forspoken looks super cool. They're having like the dumbest name. That game looks actually really pretty cool.
Dude.
Yes.
If Square made NFTs, and somehow you could have them generated, and you could potentially have one done for the completed squad you did for the 4-job Fiesta, I'm going to shut up and you're going to cut this out of the show so we don't give them ideas.
That's right. Well, and the real frustrating part of it, there's like a twofold frustration I have, specifically with Square, is that they have an infrastructure in place that could take advantage of NFTs in Final Fantasy XIV. Like, here is a specific super fancy house in the game that one person can own. Here's a chocobo mount that 100 people can own, and we have this out on auction. Like, MMOs are already kind of lousy with that stuff, where it's like, oh, if you go to Comic-Con and you buy this little keychain, then you get a code you can redeem in the game. Look at you, Blizzard. Stuff like that is already fairly rife and not terrible, but not the best. And also, they had to stop selling and advertising Final Fantasy XIV because crypto dummies are buying all of everything's, and they don't have enough hardware to build a new data center. So don't poop where you eat, because the thing you're getting into is making your other problem worse. Stop.
But it also doesn't help either that outside of Square and Konami, Sega had also said too, it's like, well, we won't do NFTs if gamers don't want them.
Right. And immediately everybody's like,
aren't gonna do it, but
right. We just don't want to. It's really disappointing, because it is another video game investor and shareholder cash grab from a group of people, shareholders, that don't know anything about the business. They're just saying...
Just card packs again.
Yeah.
Everyone's just trying to shove something into a game, no matter what game it is. And...
Before legislation, they're trying to get it in there, get $1 million, and get out. And look, a lot of people have said, like, oh, NFTs are just Beanie Babies, whatever. That's not true, because Beanie Babies weren't burning down the rainforest. So, like, the ecological impacts of NFTs, otherwise you could just roll your eyes and be like, this dude spent $200,000 on a monkey picture. This is stupid. But also, he destroyed a lot of wildlife at the same time. So, like, otherwise, we'd just be rolling our eyes and be like, yeah, look at the video game industry again. Like, it's loot boxes all over again. Here comes the legislation. But it's bad in a different way as well. So, screw NFTs. They're bad. Let's move on to our next news story. Sony formally unveils the PSVR 2 with the final name of the PSVR 2.
PSVR 2.
You got it.
Mm-hmm.
Prediction came
Don't want to stray too far.
That's right. You don't want to... Yeah. It will feature a new controller called the PlayStation Sense. The goggles will have a 110-degree field of view with a 2000 by 2040 per eye resolution, which is crazy high, and 90 and 120 hertz frame support. Thankfully, it is inside-out tracking. So the goggles themselves have cameras on them to track the controllers, which is exactly what you want. You will only need a single cable to connect to the console this time, so you can connect your USB-C directly into the front of your PS5. Please weigh the PS5 down, because it's wobbly if you have a launch one like I do. But thankfully there's not like, connect this box to your PS4 to connect this to connect to your other... Nothing like that anymore.
There's not a whole topology thing to follow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like fold out this IKEA instruction set. It will include eye tracking, headset feedback, which Sony needs to get out in front of, because from the questions they're answering, sounds like they're talking about very minor headset vibration, which I don't think that's something people want, Sony. 3D.
Well, dude, I don't know about you, but my bad neck really could do with something heavy vibrating over the top of it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, too, I guess it depends. We don't know anything, but it may just be like the tiniest little...
Yeah, if it's the tiniest little,
you're playing a horror game, you hear a whisper behind you to the left, and you have like a slight vibration on the left top of your skull. I mean, that would be kind of... Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Boston gets it.
Well, and I think if they do it right, it could potentially help a lot with orientation, where someone can say like, oh, they're over there to the west, and it just vibrates like ping, ping, ping over like where they're talking about. That could be potentially really useful. But I think the horror story you think of is just like, whoa, like just shaking off of your head, like, the controller will have haptic feedback and adaptive triggers as well. Naturally, no price or release date. They're also not talking about backwards compatibility, which is not surprising for Sony. Hopefully they do it, because nobody bought a PSVR 1.
I did.
Yeah, that's true.
Boston's have one. Resident Evil 7.
I would love to have one for Astrobot. I'd love to play that game, but there's still way too much money. And Sony announced their first game for it, Horizon Call of the Mountain, which seems to be kind of a Horizon like side story VR thing. They showed off some screenshots. We don't know what that thing is yet.
It's a mountain climbing simulator.
Okay, now you got me. I'm interested. Yeah,
it's an experience. Come on, it's not a game.
Yeah,
well, I was gonna say, with what little bit we know now, just ballpark guesses, what do you think this is going to cost?
$500.
$999.99.
Yeah, I don't think they're under 500.
Yeah, I was thinking 500 as well, just because.
How much does the Quest 2 go for? That's 400, I think, right?
Is it $399 or $499?
I think it's 400. I'll look it up.
I'll say with the power of the internet.
Yeah, because it'll be. Quest 2. Okay, so the 128 gig Quest 2 is $300. 256 gig is $400. So $500 entry level for the PSVR 2, I think.
Okay.
I think they are competing with the Quest 2. And Quest 2 had an incredible December. They did really, really well. And I think Sony doesn't realize they need to compete with price as well. And they probably won't care, because no one can buy a PS5 right now anyway. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say this will probably be scalped the moment it's released anyway.
100%.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Thanks, internet.
Let me add another 9 onto my prediction.
There you go. $6,000.
Get a second job.
Yeah. Gosh. Yeah. Yeah. I think my takeaway from the PSVR 2 is like none of this is surprising because Sony, like usual, want to present their hardware as best in class. Whether it is or it isn't, I'm not a VR guy, so I'm not entirely able to tell. But so far, all the buzzwords seem like, yeah, that seems like a really good headset. Like that seems like, you're competing with a Quest 2, which is a standalone thing. So you gotta sell what you got, I guess, which is it's a PS5 if you have one. Wink. Let's get to questions here real quick. A sort of a question and more of a patron reward here. Pharaoh Reigns in chat. If you're watching the live stream, they're always hanging out with us. They're also hanging out with us in the Discord. Go join there too. It said, "Hey, bumped up to $10 because you guys deserve it." So as a reward, I totally forgot that when someone jumps in at $10 or sort of bumps their thing up to $10, I'll plug something for them on the show. So thank you very much, for your support, and wanted to shout out ClarissaMChains.wordpress.com. It is our captive audience, Clarissa's temporary authors page, so you can go read their cool stuff over there. I haven't checked it out for a while. I know Pharaoh linked it a while ago, and I read some stuff over there, and it was good. So check it out at ClarissaMChains.wordpress.com. Also, hello to Clarissa. How's it going?
Bye.
Hi, everyone. All right.
I hate Boston.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that's a given. All right. Now that we're crossing the 2-hour mark here, we are all done with this episode. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. You can visit us at tvgp.tv. Excuse me. Everywhere to find and follow us is on the right-hand side of the page.
Yeah.
Man, getting choked up here because we're finishing the episode. Oh,
Get back in. Yeah, let's go gravelly.
Him. All the places to find and follow us are on the right-hand side of the page, including Discord server. Places have been hopping lately. Go hang out there. Go hang out with us. Also, patreon.com/E1M1.
Ones, they were numbers.
We talked about all the good benefits for you as a listener and a patron at the beginning. Don't forget that your financial patronage helps us pay for the show every month. It's not cheap, mostly because we use really good hosts, which means like the webpage and the RSS feed and all that stuff has never gone down, which is great. Well, I just realized we've been using the same podcast host for the entirety of this show. So big shout outs to Libsyn. What's up? They're not listening.
You don't know, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
They were like, who's this idiot that's been keeping up with us for all these years?
That's right. Why haven't they left? Why haven't they stopped podcasting, please? If you can't support us financially, totally understand. Times are definitely very tight, especially coming out of the holidays here. How you can support us, tell a friend, rate us 5 stars where you listen, share all this stuff socially, put it on a flash drive and hand it to your friend and say like, hey, here's this show I like listening to. They're great. And have them listen. And tell us where you're at that you want us to be if we're not in your favorite platform, and I'll get us over there. Oh, thank you so much, everyone.
I don't think you can publish podcasts on the Xbox, unfortunately.
Well, I'll try. Maybe soon. Who was?
But you can watch us on the Xbox through the Twitch app.
Yeah, there you go, and YouTube. There you go.
Yep.
There was
and the Edge app if you want to get real edgy.
That's true. There was some platform holder that was like, yeah, we're talking about making podcasts. I don't think it was Microsoft, but it was someone
Probably
really big.
Spotify, dude.
No, Spotify already messed podcasts up. Thanks, Spotify. Podcasts shouldn't be exclusive. LOL.
Yeah.
Okay, before I go on any other podcasting-related rants, thank you very much, everyone, for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
My son actually plays Spotify all the time when he's playing games on the PlayStation.
Sure.
So like he'll be listening to Persona music while he's playing like Dirt 5 or something.
That's great.
It's like, all right, man.
Good on him.
Dude, I miss the Snap feature and I miss Mixer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. All right, Nim. What do you have for titles?
I have alwaysjustin.tv. Don't Write It Down. Moonpier Games, or quote-unquote Moonpier Games.
Oh, yeah. I forgot the quotes.
Super Spicy Achievements. Kirasoft 100 Class. The Friday Business, which Pharaoh and Reigns also had in chat.
Yep.
And then Jimbo also put Barbarians Are Too Aggressive.
Yes. I just wrote that down, too. Moon, what do you have?
It's Always Justin. Giant space robot game. Bad robots. Scaling difficulty, kiddo. We're Justin's parents. Little arrow going upwards, and 3 random words.
I forgot about scaling difficulty, kiddo. That one's pretty good. I have Moonpier Games. The Bad Robots, The Friday Business, Barbarians Are Too Aggressive, It's Always Justin, and Scaling Difficulty Kiddo. Friday Business seems like it's on the short list here. Seems like it's a really front runner.
I would say so.
Scaling Difficulty Kiddo I think is also good, but not as good as Friday Business.
Yeah, I like them both out of everything.
So wait, what are we doing right now? What do you like?
Friday
Picking titles, dude.
Yeah,
No.
Duh.
Duh.
Oh, right.
I almost swore at you, man. Like, so close.
It's between the Friday Business and Scaling Difficulty Kiddo. I like Friday Business better.
Mm.
Okay. No, I had misheard what you guys were saying, because I thought you were saying that those were on the short list, meaning like the back end of the
Oh,
the list.
I gotcha. Right. And
That's
you're
why
like,
I was like,
no,
okay, so
and
why
you're
are
like, no,
you
those
two
are good
fourth
titles.
two?
Like,
yeah, exactly.
what do you got? Man. Yeah. Okay. The Friday Business sound good?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Moon's over there trying to rile me up.
Circling it. Hey,
I literally did nothing.
this is like the only week we have energy in the entire year, so we got to get all our spiciness out.
I had energy when we were done. I texted Moon at one point.
Oh yeah.
My phone's on D&D and somewhere in this desk.
Oh, there you go.
I think it freaked him out too.
Yeah. All right, let me know when you guys are ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready too.
Starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 742 for January 10th, 2022. The Friday Business.
I do it on Sundays.
This isn't the place for your Wednesday socks.
All right. Thank you so much for everyone joining us for the first episode back of the year. Appreciate it, especially everyone hanging out with us. I hope we'll see you next week. Bye.
Oh.